Hi guys, it's Ray. We are going to use the Htvront Auto Heat Press today. So my light is flashing because it is plugged in, but it is not on. I've already played with it a little bit just to make sure it functions. So when I turn it on, it's already starting to warm up, but I don't know exactly what I set it to. So I have my vinyl cut. 2 shirts I'm doing. I'm going to do 4 total. Are going to get this heat transfer vinyl that they sent me. This was their 12 pack. This is 12 rolls, 12 inch by 5 inch, or 5 foot, excuse me. So this is just standard HTV. So I cut it on my regular vinyl iron-on setting on my Cricut. And this is going to be using a heat press, so it's going to be 300 degrees for 10 to 15 seconds, and then I'm going to cold peel it. So I'm going to check what my temperature was set to, and I did have it set to 300, and I'm going to bring my seconds down to 13. That puts it in the mid-range. So this is going to heat up. I do have a Teflon sheet ready to go. HTVRont also sent me these a while back. This tray slides out. Whoops. I'm going to move you back a little bit. This drawer slides out and clicks into place. And it has a pressing pad already built in. So I'm going to grab my first shirt. Since my first 2 are using standard vinyl from that pack, they will press the same. These are just cheapy t-shirts that I bought at Walmart. They were actually on clearance. So, and this is a 15 by 15 press. And for me to work on it, it's in a very awkward position, especially with the camera in the way. So, bear with me, folks. Because this is a V-neck, I'm going to go fairly close to the top of the shirt. So I'm actually going to sneak this up here a little bit further onto my board. And there's a very good chance I'm going to come out crooked because I'm not measuring or marking anything. I'm being very careful not to touch the heating plate while I'm trying to straighten this out. So, I do have my transfer ready. This one's pretty simple. It's just a coffee and books decal. I believe this came from Creative Fabrica. I will double check because I can't remember off the top of my head. And again, I am just in a very awkward position for working on this right now. I don't have a good setup for it yet. I don't know where it's going to live, but this is almost up to temp. It should take about 4 minutes. So HTVRont is participating in Amazon Prime Days, which is today and tomorrow. So I will link to their Amazon store down below, as well as the Kickstart program for this. And I also have some other materials coming to do something other than standard HTV and shirts. That should be here for when you're watching this later today, but I don't know when I'll get the video up. But this is going to be my first run with this. Okay. So I'm going to swing this around so you can maybe see how the machine works. So I'm going to put you in a weird position. I'm just going to pre-press this shirt actually to remove any moisture and to basically iron it out and preheat the shirt. So a couple seconds will do it. I can hear the machine putting the pressure down. And it's automatically releasing it. I'm going to pull my plate back out. So now we have a nice, warm, moisture-free shirt. And again, I am not in a good position for this, so lining it up is going to be slightly difficult. Obviously, if I was doing something that wasn't personal, that was for sale, I would get myself set up in a better position. I did just crease this just to get my center line. So hopefully it's kind of straight to the V-neck. And I'm going to put my Teflon sheet over it and slide it back in again. I am still up to temp. I can see on my board. So I'm just going to go ahead and press it again. Let it release and pull it back out. Remove my Teflon. This is a cold peel, so I'm going to pull the shirt off and let it cool a bit. It should only take about 45 seconds. So I think that's kind of even. So once again, I'm going to slide it in and pre-press the shirt. Pull that back out. This image did come from Creative Fabrica. I'm just folding the image inside out, somewhat even for center. I'm gonna put my machine back, make sure it's in all the way, push my button again, and let it count down. We're gonna go ahead and peel this one, see if it is on there good enough. Nothing is tearing. The shirt is just kind of stretchy. So that is off and pretty good. I am going to press this one more time though. So I'm going to pull this out. My Teflon is sticking to my top platen, which is fine. I'm going to pull this one off. And I'm going to put this one back on. I'm actually going to just put it over the drawer this time. And I may actually do the next two this way. I feel like it might actually be easier for me the way I'm recording, especially to put them this direction. That's it. We'll come back over here to this one. And this one I'm actually going to repress because I feel like it's not quite there. But this one's out and done. And it looks terrific. I don't see any lifting. I'm going to give the shirt a stretch. Make sure there's no lifting. Feels really nice. This vinyl feels really nice on the shirt. So, that one's done. My next one is this machine, and I don't know if it's going to come with all the machines. I think they were selling, I think one of the options is a bundle. So I don't believe it will come with all the machines, but they sent some glitter HTV with the machine to the testers. So we're going to do that. And I need to look at, I had to look it up on their website because it didn't come with cutting and pressing directions. But I cut it on just the Cricut preset glitter HTV setting and it worked fine. So I did cut it with the more pressure on it on the setting though. So I'm just going to go ahead and press this while I find my sheet to consult. So I wrote down that the glitter vinyl gets cut at iron-on more. No. Glitter iron-on plus setting, you know, more pressure. And it presses at 305 to 320. So I'm going to increase my temperature. I'm going to go all the way up to 315. And it says 10 to 15 seconds. Whoops. So I'm actually going to do the full 15 for this, because I think it'll be a slightly longer process. And you've seen me use this image, The Stars Cannot Shine Without Darkness, from Cricut Design Space on my tumblers. I decided I would like it on a shirt. So that's what we are doing. Again, V-neck. I am not going too far down the shirt. I'm getting my Teflon on, locked into place, and going. And the next specialty vinyl is also going to be the same setting. So that's why I'm doing these two together, and I did the other two together. So let's pull that out. The only thing I didn't look at is if the glitter was a cold peel or not, but most glitter vinyls are a warm peel, so we're just gonna go ahead and warm peel it. And I do believe that was fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and immediately repress that. So that one's been pressed twice now. It's kind of like a dark blue black glitter. So I thought it would work good on this color shirt and with this image. So I'm going to do my same raised turquoise turtle that we did on my black t-shirt for this one. I have washed that t-shirt every single week, and I got that too bunched up, so I have some wrinkles. So I'm going to give that another partial press. Probably doesn't need another full press, but I've washed that t-shirt every single week since I made it, however long ago that was. If you push the R button, it'll stop where it is, and then you can pull it out. But I've been pretty impressed with this vinyl, the way it's held up on the other shirt. I almost forgot my Teflon, which the Teflon on the first phase isn't the end of the world if you forget. It's just after you've pulled your carrier sheet it becomes an issue. It's this Chameleon heat transfer vinyl. It comes in a 12-foot by 10-foot roll. The way they sent it to me, it probably comes other ways, but it gives you the application instructions. So, basic instructions. It comes in a wide variety of colors. And this says cold peel. So we're going to let that cool a bit. In the meantime, I'm going to bring the Lake Care one over. And hopefully this one's ready to peel. And we're going to immediately repress it. If you don't have Teflon sheets, you can use parchment paper, but do use something. You absolutely do not want this melting to your plate, especially one like this where you can't get to the bottom of it to try and clean it up. I don't know what my dog is whining about in the background. So, to repress the Lake Care one, I'm going to need my temperature back down again. And my time back down again. This does have several built-in modes. I haven't really paid attention to what those are yet. But, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Can you see the shift in color? Purple to blue. There you go. You can get both colors in there. Love it. Alright, so I'm just going to get this one back on. I can't believe I lost one of my little sunrays and didn't notice in weeding. So disappointed in myself. I could cut another piece of white and fix that, but I'm honestly probably not going to worry about it. There, see, any of that wrinkly stuff is fixed now. So, that is that. I'm going to shut this machine off. Actually, I didn't want to shut it off. I'm going to turn it back on a minute. This is that mode button. Mode 1. So I probably could have actually just used these for what I just did. 330 is a little higher than anything I'm going to use. 390 is definitely higher because I'm not working with sublimation. But 1 would have been okay for my first 2 vinyls, and 2 would have been okay for my second 2. So they are kind of dialed into what you are using. And then, you know, custom settings. And then, like I said, we'll discuss this auto button more when I get my next round of materials in. But that's going to remember your current setting by my understanding, and you're just going to be able to do the same thing over and over and over again. So, at any rate, I will shut this down. I'm going to unplug it. Just give me 1 second and I will show you all the shirts. These are all done, obviously, so I'm going to show you. I don't really care for a ton of graphic shirts, so I tend to keep my personal ones smaller. So, like, my max size I did is like 8. Normally on a women's shirt this size, you're probably going to be doing 10 to 11 inches. It's just a personal preference thing. Because these are for me, I wanted to keep them smaller graphics. And this shirt is coming across as orange. It's really more of a salmony coral color. So, and this one, coffee and books. This is really a sage green. And the black with that really cool chameleon. I absolutely love. And then like care, don't care. So that's it. That is my first run of my HTVRont auto heat press. Very easy to use. I'm very happy with how everything seems to be adhered down. And I'm gonna go grab my other shirt so I can show you real quick. So this is the old one. I did size this image up a tiny bit for this, like just a tiny bit. I don't know if you can see that on camera, the difference in the sizes of the letters. Shirt's actually a little dirty. I wore it to work last night. So, but yeah, there's nothing lifting, nothing peeling. It's pretty much exactly the way it was the day I made it. It's a little wrinkly right now because I just balled it up and threw it in the, you know, dirty pile, but yeah. So I am really happy. The chameleon still does its chameleon things, and it's held up really well. I would have to go back and look to see when I published that video, but I think it was like sometime in the beginning of April. And I've made it a point to wash it at least once a week since then, just as a test of the press machine and the vinyl itself. So so far it's passing the test on all accounts. So that is it. I give this machine a thumbs up. I'm pretty impressed with it so far, and stay tuned because later in the week we will have a different test of it coming up.